Syphilis Miasm in the third house with Ketu aspect or conjunction, hormonal and planetary influences. The third house governs physical strength, valor, courage, arms, hands, ears, neck, shoulders, communication, and related hormonal functions. When Ketu aspects or conjoins planets in the third house under the Syphilis Miasm, it brings about reduction, degeneration, and suppression of these functions. Ketu's influence intensifies the loss of strength, nerve function decline, and cognitive issues in areas such as communication and coordination, alongside hormonal dysfunctions that affect the nervous system and sensory faculties. Mercury plus Ketu in the third house, Syphilis Miasm. Nervous system depletion. Mercury governs the nervous system and communication, and Ketu's influence weakens these aspects, leading to nerve damage and loss of coordination in the arms, hands, and shoulders. This can manifest as tremors, numbness, or difficulty in fine motor skills. Syphilis exacerbates the decline, resulting in progressive nervous system degeneration. Speech and cognitive decline. Mercury also governs speech and thought processes. Ketu's reducing influence causes slurred speech, stuttering, and difficulty in verbal expression. Syphilis accelerates this cognitive breakdown, leading to dyslexia, learning difficulties, or even complete cognitive degeneration. Physical manifestations: tremors, numbness, and loss of coordination in the arms, hands, and shoulders. Speech issues such as stuttering, difficulty forming coherent thoughts and verbal expression. Sun Ketu in the third house, Syphilis Miasm. Vitality depletion in the arms and shoulders. The Sun governs vitality and strength. Ketu's influence diminishes the Sun's energy, leading to weakness in the arms, hands, and shoulders. Syphilis further worsens this, causing muscle wasting and loss of physical stamina in these areas, affecting one's overall strength and coordination. Cognitive and sensory reduction. The Sun also affects mental clarity and sight. Under Ketu's aspect or conjunction, there may be cognitive decline, particularly affecting reaction time and decision-making. Syphilis drives this further, causing vision problems and mental fatigue. Physical manifestations: muscle weakness in the arms, hands, and shoulders, leading to reduced strength and stamina. Cognitive decline, mental fog, and vision issues. Now Saturn plus Ketu in the third house, Syphilis Miasm. Suppression of physical strength and stamina. Saturn represents restriction and slowing down. Ketu's influence intensifies Saturn's restrictive energy, leading to chronic fatigue and muscle stiffness in the arms, shoulders, and neck. Under the Syphilis Miasm, this manifests as long-term muscle atrophy and rigidity, affecting one's ability to perform physical tasks. Emotional and cognitive suppression. Saturn's impact on mental and emotional expression is deepened by Ketu, leading to emotional detachment, mental fatigue, and difficulty in communication. This results in flat speech patterns and reduced emotional engagement in social interactions. Physical manifestations: chronic fatigue and stiffness in the arms, shoulders, and neck, leading to difficulty in movement. Emotionally flat speech, with reduced cognitive engagement and slow communication. Mars plus Ketu in the third house, Syphilis Miasm. Muscle atrophy and inflammation. Mars governs muscular strength and inflammation. When influenced by Ketu, the muscles in the arms, shoulders, and neck weaken, leading to muscle atrophy and loss of physical strength. Under syphilis, this results in chronic muscle wasting and persistent inflammation, particularly in the upper limbs and neck. Aggression and communication issues. Ketu's reducing influence on Mars also leads to erratic communication patterns and emotional outbursts, which can affect social interactions. Syphilis further aggravates these tendencies, leading to angry outbursts or emotional instability during speech. Physical manifestations. Muscle wasting in the arms and shoulders, with loss of physical strength and coordination. Emotional outbursts or erratic communication, with underlying aggression or frustration. Rahu plus Ketu, opposition or conjunction, in the third house, Syphilis Miasm, erratic communication and nervous tension. Rahu's expansive, chaotic energy opposes Ketu's reducing effect, leading to erratic speech patterns, nervousness, and communication difficulties. Syphilis worsens these conditions by further degrading the nervous system, leading to tension, stammering, or difficulty forming coherent thoughts. Fluctuating physical strength. Rahu may cause periods of hyperactivity in the arms and shoulders, while Ketu's influence brings muscle depletion, resulting in alternating states of hyperactivity and physical weakness. Physical manifestations. Nervous tension affecting communication, with erratic speech and difficulty forming coherent sentences. Fluctuating strength in the arms, with periods of hyperactivity followed by weakness. These planetary influences of Ketu in the third house under the Syphilis Miasm lead to muscle atrophy, nerve damage, cognitive decline and speech difficulties, with Ketu intensifying the degenerative processes related to physical strength, communication and coordination. Syphilis Miasm in the third house with Ketu aspect or conjunction Moon, Jupiter, Mars. The third house governs physical strength, courage, communication, arms, hands, neck, shoulders, and related nervous system functions. When Ketu aspects or conjoins planets like the Moon, Jupiter, or Mars in this house under the Syphilis Miasm, it leads to reduction, degeneration, and suppression of these areas, causing weakness in the nervous system, muscle atrophy, and communication difficulties. Ketu's influence intensifies the deterioration, weakening both the physical and mental aspects related to the third house. Moon plus Ketu in the third house, Syphilis Miasm. Emotional detachment and communication breakdown. The Moon governs emotions and subconscious patterns. When Ketu influences the Moon, it leads to emotional suppression, mental detachment, and difficulty expressing emotions. Under syphilis, this manifests as emotional withdrawal, lack of empathy, and communication problems such as flat speech or difficulty in emotionally engaging in conversations. Weakness in the hands and arms. Ketu's reducing effect on the Moon results in physical fatigue in the arms and hands, accompanied by poor coordination and loss of dexterity. Syphilis exacerbates this by contributing to nerve damage, causing tremors or shaking in the upper limbs. Physical manifestations, emotional numbness, difficulty expressing feelings and flat, monotone speech, tremors or loss of coordination in the arms and hands, leading to difficulty with fine motor skills. Jupiter Ketu in the third house, Syphilis Miasm, reduction in intellectual ability and communication. Jupiter governs expansion, wisdom, and communication abilities. When Ketu diminishes Jupiter's influence, it leads to mental fog, difficulty concentrating, and speech problems. Syphilis accelerates the decline, causing intellectual regression, confusion, and incoherent speech patterns, particularly in complex conversations or learning. Weakness in the arms and hands. Jupiter's usual support for physical strength is reduced by Ketu, causing muscle weakness in the shoulders, arms, and hands. Under syphilis, this weakness worsens, leading to muscle atrophy and difficulty performing tasks that require physical strength. Physical manifestations. Cognitive decline, confusion, and difficulty in articulating thoughts. Muscle weakness in the arms and hands, leading to difficulty lifting objects or performing manual tasks. Mars Ketu in the third house, Syphilis Miasm. Muscle degeneration and inflammation. Mars governs muscular strength and inflammatory responses. When Ketu reduces Mars's influence, it causes muscle wasting and chronic inflammation in the arms, shoulders, and neck. Under syphilis, this manifests as progressive muscle atrophy, stiffness and chronic pain in the upper limbs, affecting physical mobility and strength. Aggressive communication and emotional instability. Mars also influences communication style and aggression. Ketu's influence leads to erratic communication and emotional instability, causing the person to swing between aggressive outbursts and emotional numbness. Syphilis worsens these tendencies, leading to self-destructive behaviors or hostile communication patterns. Physical manifestations. Muscle wasting, stiffness and inflammation in the arms and shoulders, resulting in reduced mobility. Erratic communication, with aggressive speech and emotional outbursts, followed by periods of emotional numbness. Moon plus Jupiter, Ketu in the third house, Syphilis Miasm, emotional suppression and cognitive decline. The combination of the Moon, Jupiter and Ketu under the Syphilis Miasm leads to a severe emotional and intellectual breakdown. The individual may struggle with emotional detachment, difficulty understanding or processing complex thoughts, and communication issues. Ketu's reducing effect causes a loss of emotional depth and cognitive clarity, resulting in flat speech and mental confusion. Physical and nervous system weakness. Ketu's influence on both the Moon and Jupiter leads to nerve degeneration and physical weakness in the arms and shoulders. This can cause tremors, numbness, and lack of coordination, making it difficult for the individual to carry out daily physical tasks. Physical manifestations. Emotional numbness, cognitive decline and flat speech, with difficulty processing emotions and thoughts. Nerve damage and muscle weakness in the arms and shoulders, leading to tremors and loss of motor control. These planetary influences of Ketu in the third house under the Syphilis Miasm lead to severe muscle degeneration, nervous system decline, emotional detachment, and communication breakdowns, with Ketu driving the reduction and depletion of strength, cognitive function, and emotional expression.